first man up on stage, lightest man in the competition from Poland. Said he was going to come out at 170, has done so. B group results, just so you know, from Belarus, Mijachuk lifted 180. That was his best in the snatch, 212 in the clean and jerk. That will be easily surpassed today. But let's see if we can get this competition off to a good, fiery start. Just set the tone for the day, and a good start from Casabaya, nice and solid from the Polish lifter.
Well, Arsene Casabaya, he's got some gremlins of the past, having bombed out at the Olympic Games in 2012 and also the World Championships a year later. So good to see him nail his first attempt, get a lift on the board, build the confidence. He sits in so deep into the receiving position. So great start to the competition.
You have to go back to 2010, 2009, 2010 really for his best form. Has been successful at the European Championships in the past. But a nice solid start for him. We'll see if he's going to have to follow himself out, whether he's got some company here.
Well, I would anticipate him going up 3, 4, maybe 5 kilos now between first and second attempts. If that's the case, he will be following himself. He'll have 2 minutes to recover.
Polish coach just saying to him it's okay, just wait. As always, it's really important to get those numbers on the board. We can start in the competition and see where we go from there. The 105s was, well, a real mess, wasn't it? It was a carnage in the snatch this morning.
Well, it was a desperately disappointing competition, not just from our point of view, but I think for most of the athletes. Nobody really came to life until the clean and jerk kicked in. The snatch was very disappointing. We put it down to the heat here in Georgia, but also the time of day at which they were competing. 11 in the morning, Georgian time, and it really affected a number of the athletes.
It's much more like it though, 5 p.m. local time. Final medals up for grabs from this European Championships, and Casabaya does follow himself out at 174. So 4 kilo increase then from him. These bigger guys able to use that very wide grip on the bar. That's a benefit once it goes above the head.
Well, that buzzer you heard, that was a 30-second buzzer. It would not have put him off. He knew exactly how long he had. He would have been anticipating the buzzer sounding at any point. Just failed to get full extension with the legs. So important. You've got to get these glutes and quads firing together to generate as much upward momentum as possible.
It's the German shot, Almir Valajic, senior citizen in this competition at 33 years of age. But the 30-somethings have had quite a good time of it, especially during the heavier weights this week. Good to see that. Good to see that longevity in the sport as well. It's just hanging around here to see what he's going to come out at. Casabaya is going to go again at 174, and let's not forget that's only 2 kilos off his personal best, so this is pushing the envelope here as an opener.
Well, Valajic has a 180 posted. It was either a 180 or a 185 on the bar in the warm-up room, so I'm anticipating that if that is the case, if my math was correct, then he may well be increasing his starting weight.
That will be more in line with the others. Dawaga is saying 177, Naj is saying 180.
Sometimes the athletes do like to lift the same weight in warm-up that they're about to do on the platform. Most athletes will choose 2, 3, 4, 5 kilos below their opening attempt as their last warm-up.
Casabaya into his last minute. I don't know if you saw that. The coach gave him a good hefty slap on the shoulder and hurt his own shoulder in the process. Well, made out of tough stuff, these boys. Casabaya's last lift then. 3 rather lonely lifts in the snatch phase of this competition. That's 170 on the board. This for 174.
Better. Steady, needs to stand still. Well, he had to work for that. So deep in the receiving position, was fighting all the way. That could so easily have gone back to ground. Much better extension. Working hard in the shoulders and in the core to stabilise himself. Great lifting.
Very pleased to say this men's super heavyweight category warming up nicely. We were promised a barnstorming finish, and that's at the moment what is developing here in the snatch phase of this competition. Terminids, this man Proshak, and Magushkoff about to enter the competition. 190 was the posted weight. Proshak has stuck with that, but Terminids hasn't. He's got a 192. Oh dear, that was as smooth as you like. Beautiful lift from Proshak.
Just taking his time off the platform, not wasting any energy. These guys need to be able to recover quickly between maximum attempts. Really strong in the back, good extension. Sits lovely and straight underneath the bar. And when an athlete performs with this technical precision, it does look effortless. He's clearly got the leg strength to stand up with some serious weights. He has the heaviest clean and jerk recorded at 245, so he's already demonstrated that in previous competitions.
The big man then. Chingiz Magushkoff comes out for Russia, so he's stuck at 190, his original stated entry to the competition. Terminids has gone to 192. That's quite a gamble from Terminids, but it does give him the advantage if he's successful. So heaviest man in the competition, 189.8 kilos, this man, and it's out the back door for Magushkoff. Not the required start from the Russian.
Oh, difference of 200 grams. It's a bodyweight snatch.
Germany, second attempt.
Position was not bad, just a fraction behind. You can see the Russian coach in the background.
Vladic then has bided his time. The luxury of having that decent first number on the board means now he can have a little punt, a little dabble on these next two lifts and see what he can get away with. 190 is up there for him. 192 is a personal best.
It's there.
Come on.
He's got it.
Yes, good work. Great work from the 33-year-old, and that is a lift that could give him a medal.
It could well do. He's only 2 kilos below his best. He's in great shape, clearly. Really good extension. You see Oliver Crusoe in the background, his coach, former European medalist, shouting the encouragement, shouting the cue points that he needs, jumping at the end there to celebrate.
Great work. And I just think that age, that experience, 33 years of age, it just means you stay calm behind the scenes. You've been there, you've done it, you've seen it all. And from Terminids' point of view, that all looked a little bit rushed there, but he settled himself down again. 192, remember, his registered weight, and if he doesn't come out now, then Proshak, Janashek, Vladic are all going to try and batter him. So he's got to come out here.
Yeah, he's coming out. He's just saving himself the time to walk across the stage to the chalk bin. He's chalking up in the warm-up room. And some of the athletes like to do this, and I'll tell you the reason why. That chalk bin is on the far side of the stage. is quite simply for TV. It gives us a chance to see the athletes, and I remember there was a number of us as athletes complained how far it was to walk when they first started doing it.
Yeah, very good point. Can Terminids make a good point here? Looking for a big finish for the home nation. And that'll do nicely. That bit of adrenaline, the crowd 100% onside. And Irakli Terminids with 1:09.2 to open his competition.
It's a near capacity auditorium here in Georgia, and every single one of the spectators is getting behind their athlete. Terminids looked unstoppable there, and clearly he is capable of a lot more today.
We've got a proper competition now. This is very good. Look at that reaction from the journalists as well. I love it. The local journalists here in Tbilisi really enjoying that lift. Velagic is due on stage, this man as well. Now, I thought he lifted 186 very nicely indeed. Mikhaila was talking about the magic 200 for this man because Janacek has gone 199, but it'll have to wait for that. The competition is first and foremost, so 193 is a sensible decision in terms of progression. This puts him into the lead again, having been passed by Terminids. Nope, not there, I'm afraid, and that's a shame. He's tweaked his thumb as well on the way.
Well, it didn't look overly sharp. Didn't really attack the bar like he did in his first attempt. It's all one speed, not much acceleration. Therefore, lacking in terms of height gained on the bar.
And he was impressive, wasn't he, Proshak, just dumping the weight down in the warm-up room.
Yeah, just keeping the legs ticking over. It's a long time to wait between attempts. You don't really want to be waiting more than 4 or 5 lifts before you're on again.
Velagic has done really well because he's had quite a delay on his lifting. He bumped his start weight up by 5 kilos. Came out and lifted that. But the 190 lift was particularly impressive, and the 33-year-old controlling the situation very well here. Now, 193. We said 190 gave him a chance of a medal, but that still probably relied on the likes of Magushkoff or Proshak making an error.
Well, this is a big ask. He worked hard on his previous attempt. This for a 1 kilo personal best.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, he had a lot of problems in that receive position, but he got himself out of trouble. And at 33 years of age, still setting personal bests. And that's why you got that reaction from Velagic. Great lifting from the German. This is a heck of an effort.
Well, right onto his toes. That heel of the left foot came off the floor. But that was everything he had. Needs to be careful to keep his hands on the bar below shoulder height, though.
What a way to finish this European Championships. The super heavyweights are delivering. We've got a really good scrap for the medals here in the snatch phase. Johanne Janacek then back out after looking so good, so snappy at 186. He was sluggish on 193 and it cost him. So he's stuck on this weight now for his 3rd attempt. No, and again, just can't quite get it right with that timing. So 186 it is. And Velagic takes another step closer to the medal. Terminids, Proshak and Magushkoff can still take it away from the German. 3 lifters still in the competition, but after a fail at 190, Magushkoff has said, hey, don't worry about it, let's go 194. He did not look good at 190, I have to say.
The position of his body position wasn't bad. It was just a fraction back on his heels. If the bar does go slightly behind, it's so hard to hold on to it. He's obviously feeling confident. to increase the weight by a further 4 kilos. He does not have a lift registered at the moment. This is a big lift.
There we go. Well, he's a man that has gone over 200 kilos and comfortably so for his personal best in the snatch. So maybe no surprise that he got that 194, but he got it under pressure. So he goes past Velagic.
And he snatched just over body weight there. Yeah, big guy. 200 grams below 190. The question, at what point is the optimal body weight for a super heavyweight?
Yeah, well, there'll always be someone, won't there, with different genetics to prove we think, or what the current thinking is actually different or flawed, but that's got to be pushing it.
Well, the thinking is, you know, the heavier you are, the stronger you should be, because the more muscle mass you have. But when that muscle mass isn't muscle, then you've got to question if you're almost becoming too heavy unnecessarily.
Prochak has been impressive. Oh, he's good.
Lifting.
He's good. This looks like the gold medalist right here. Great stuff from Prochak in his second lift, and that immediately eclipses Magushkoff's effort.
He's limping there. Left knee, maybe. Looked very comfortable, but just hopping down the steps. He's carrying some kind of injury, as most of these athletes are in some way, shape or form. Super comfortable overhead.
He's 31.
You would forgive him a couple of niggles. It hits you definitely 30 years of age and beyond is all downhill from there.
Thanks for that.
Well, I'm only saying that from experience.
To look forward to.
It actually hit me at about 26. 26 and onwards was much harder work.
Now then, can Georgia drive this man on? Prochak.
Harder work.
Now then, can Georgia drive this man on? Prochak is looking frighteningly good. That one, Irakli Termanids, would put him in the lead. It would also mean that Velagic is out of the medals, the German, after a fabulous series of 3 lifts to take him to 193. And it's done. Job done. Well, I'm going to take my prediction for Prochak straight back, I'm afraid, because that was mighty impressive.
Okay. I can't help but look ahead to the starting weights for the clean and jerk. Terminitz has a 220 posted, Prochak 230, so it really is going to be nip and tuck right to the end.
Yes, so many different scenarios can play out here, but at the moment, Terminitz leads for Georgia. Well, at the end of a long week of competition here in Tbilisi, Georgia, this 2015 European Weightlifting Championships, this is what we wanted to see. A really decent fight for the medals in the super heavyweights for the men. Putting the icing on what has already been a pretty delicious cake this week. Now, all about what this man does here in terms of how much pressure Termanids and Magushkoff are going to be under. Magushkoff had posted 198 as his next weight, but he's not come out. So Prochak goes to 200. And straight through it, no messing about. He's looking in good shape. But will 200 be enough for the gold?
Well, 3 from 3. Equal to his personal best, which he set only last year. To put himself in the best possible place, we'll just need to sit and watch to see what his fellow competitors are capable of. He's done everything he can. He's guaranteed himself a medal. The question is, what colour?
That little hobble down the stairs again, and Magushkoff, Mikhaila has just gone to 205.
Well,
wow.
Magushkoff of Russia, is he going to go 205? Is he just putting it up to that to see what everybody else does and then bringing it back down to a weight to guarantee a medal? The Russians have a tendency to do that. The only problem is you're only allowed to change your weight twice, so the bar automatically goes up by 1 kilo. You then have 2 attempts to change it. We'll wait and see what he comes in on.
It's that 9 kilo advance. I think that probably does explain that. And Termanids has decided that he'll let Magushkoff get on with whatever he wants to do, and as far as he's concerned, he wants to get past Proshak. So 2:01 for Termanids on the bar will give him a single kilo lead.
Oh, nearly went out the back.
Oh, and the crowd right behind him. That's what he needed to get that bar stable.
Well, he's put himself up into gold medal position. This is what the home crowd wanted to see. Only one person can take that gold away from him. Magushkoff of Russia, he's got 2:05 on the board. Is he going to bring that down now to 2:02 to have a go at the gold medal? Yes, he is.
Yes, no surprise to see Magushkoff make the sensible decision. As the heaviest man in the competition, Magushkoff needs to beat Termanids by 1. That bar started to rotate, but he stopped it dead. That's brilliant lifting under some decent pressure, but I love the way the crowd responded to him there. And Cengiz Magushkoff now has the opportunity, of course, to become the most unpopular man in Tbilisi.
Well, I don't think the crowd are going to be overly respectful here. We need quiet. Give him an opportunity to focus.
He'll be in his own, I say little, in inverted commas, little world up there on stage.
And if he misses this, there will be a massive cheer.
It's going to be a on stage.
And if he misses this, there will be a massive cheer.
Oh, that's a fabulous response. And Magushkoff not made himself popular with the home crowd here, because the Georgian Termanids has been beaten into silver medal position. Well, that first attempt at 190 from Magushkoff was horrible. But since then, he showed some real determination, and that's a fighting effort.
That was a brilliant recovery. Gambled after his first attempt by putting the weight up 4 kilos. Managed to stay with the competition, and that is a tremendous third attempt. 202 kilos. Gold medal on the snatch. And he's only the second-ranked Russian.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that all week. Only the second, third, fourth, fifth string in some competitions, but Magushkoff has done it. 202 kilos for the gold. Termanids takes silver, and Proshak just shutting out the rather unfortunate Village of Germany into a fourth position. He takes the bronze, does Proshak, and we're heading for a very interesting clean and jerk phase to this competition.
In picture.
Polish athlete Dawaga behind the scenes, just going through his warm-up phase and starting to put the weights on. But it is time for the big boys to shift the big weights. Final category, the final weight division of this European Championships. The clean and jerk about to get underway. Janasek up on stage. Really could lift at 186 in the snatch. He looks so comfortable. Then missed 193 twice, and he looks a different man now. Doesn't look anywhere near as comfortable coming out for this attempt at 215 on the clean and jerk. Some tall guys out there in the super heavyweight category. It's a long way for this weight to travel. Good opener from Janasek.
Good lift. And again 215 kilograms. And now better
215 is the start. Looks like we're going to stay there for Peter Naj. Yes, there he is. Hungary.
Arsene Casabaya is next lifter. Przygotowuje się.
You seem underwhelmed at the moment, Michaela.
Well, start of the competition is a case of athletes getting their lifts on the board. 215 in the grand scheme of things is not going to challenge for the medals at the moment. It's good to see these athletes coming out and actually executing compared to the position we were in earlier today. The scoreboard looks very healthy at the moment. Most lifters actually getting either 2 or 3, in fact all of the lifters getting at least 2 out of the 3 lifts, and a good number of them successful with all 3 in the snatch. There's Peter Naj, 115.
He's lifted well today, has Nash.
Yes, he has. Very strong overhead.
Just looking at the various records, clean and jerk is with Iran. Rezazadeh at 263. European record is Ronnie Weller of Germany at 260. Set that way back in '98, so that's one of those records that has hung around forever.
I was there watching that. I was in Risa, European Championships. See, as I mentioned, Oliver Caruso, who's coaching Almir Valagic, he's here. He also medalled at those championships for Germany.
Casabaya was all on his own in the snatch competition, got through his 3 lifts with no other company, so this is a bit of a luxury for him to have some around him in the clean and jerk phase. Also 215. Seen 2 successful lifts from Naj and Jalasek at this weight. Lightest man in the competition, Casabaya, by quite some distance as well.
And he is only just out of the 105s, and if you joined us earlier for the 105s, there were 2 Polish athletes already competing in that, so they've obviously got depth in the 105s and have had no choice but to push one of them up to the supers. Body weight of 105.14, so he's probably had to eat and drink in excess to get his body weight just over. Very comfortable.
So 3 successful lifts at 215. I think it's safe to say that everyone keeping their powder just a little bit dry at the moment. We've got to go another 10 kilos, 5 to 10 kilos before we start to see the real medal contenders into the piece. Next to the Polish lifters, Dawaga comes out 2 kilos heavier than those first 3 lifts at 217. Starts his lift right on the 30-second buzzer. It's a long way back on the shoulders, but handles it well.
Goodly, 218, please.
So 217 for Dewago, takes him to 404 as a combined total at the moment.
Looks to me as though he's wearing a belt underneath that lifting suit. A thicker Velcro belt, hiding it well.
Clean and jerk phase of the super heavyweights here in Tbilisi, Georgia, the last competition of this 2015 European Weightlifting Championships. Casabaya forced up into this category because 2 very, very good Polish lifters down in the 105s meant that he didn't really have a chance of getting in there. Mikalski and Bonk bringing home the medals, Bonk the gold. So Casabaya finds himself with the big boys, looking for 218 on the clean and jerk.
Really quick, only 3 kilos up from his first attempt. But he's at a limit here, working hard on every single lift. That's a good one.
Take that, Casabaya. So 174 on the snatch, 218 so far on the clean and jerk. Just looking how that compares actually to Bonk's lifting. Well, Bonk snatched 185 and clean and jerk of 223. So that answers the question perfectly.
They've left their 2 strongest athletes in the 105s, and quite rightly so. Took away the overall gold and bronze. And it's great to see 2 more Poles represented here. The depth they have across the board, particularly in the heavier categories in the men's division. It's great to see.
They've been very strong in a number of different areas. Powerlifting, strongman. We've seen a lot of Polish athletes active over the last decade or so. Quite a few of those athletes in those areas do come originally from Olympic weightlifting.
Yes, they do.
We're looking at a few moves here on the board. What have you spotted?
Terminates. Got a 220 posted. He's gone up to 225. Warm-up's obviously going well. This could bring out Valagic. A number of lifters coming out. Or no, Valagic has also gone up to 224.
Well, fair play to him. He's trying to live with them. On the scoreboard, at least. Now, Janusek has looked less and less convincing every time he's walked up onto the stage, the big Belarusian. .215, successful. Second round lift at 220. It's all blue at the moment in the clean and jerk competition. Hope that's not tempting fate. Go on. Yes, well done. Still all successful then. And Janusek takes over from Dawaga in the lead. The Polish lifter Dewago was on 217. Janusek now leads for Belarus.
Just through the clean phase as he stands. Drops his chest a fraction. Jerk, very good. Nicely driven to arm's length.
And coaches and technical officials. 223, please.
Two Polish athletes next to each other, just in that backstage area where they prepare to come on to the stage. Peter Naj scrutinising the stage as he wanders up the steps. He's pretty good today, is Peter. 29 years of age, but not the oldest in this competition. We've got Valagic at 33, we've got Proshak at 31. And we've got Terminates as well at 30. This is a veteran section at this championships. .223 then for the Hungarian.
Tremendous float on the bar. Almost hit him hard at the bottom. Really good in the jerk position. Looks very comfortable today. In good shape.
Continues his impressive run. That one blot on his card. The miss in the second round of the snatch at 189.
Well, I just missed the fact that that was a personal best by a kilo. Makes it even more credible. Nice to see Peter Naj in this kind of shape.
So Naj keeps himself in the mix with a good second round lift. 223 to take the lead. Where are we going to go with this clean and jerk? How big can the big names take it today? European Weightlifting Championships here in Tbilisi, Georgia, 2015. Daniel Dawaga trying to put himself back to the top of the tree, 223, so equals Peter Naj of Hungary with that lift, but just looking at the various body weights, Dawaga comfortably lower in body weight than the Hungarian, so he will take over once again in top spot in the clean and jerk competition. Doesn't put him to the top of the tree though in the overall. Still got Magushkoff, Terminates, Proshak and Valagic to enter the competition. Seeing a fair amount of cat and mouse backstage at the moment. We got half the field engaged in this competition. Naj, Janusek, Dawaga and Casabaya. And then we've got half the competition waiting behind the stage, gradually upping their weights. Casabaya then with his third and final lift in the clean and jerk. 2:23 would give him the lead. Lightest man by some distance in this competition.
You can see how hard he's working. Oh, that is a brilliant recovery if he can stand still. That clean took so much out of him. He still had the legs to drive the bar to arm's length. The recovery was tough, but he had the awareness in terms of where the bar was in relation to his body to be able to perform when it really mattered.
We saw rank 4 on that graphic. That relates to the overall competition, but in terms of the clean and jerk competition, the lightest man lifts the same weight as Dawaga and Naj, so he goes to the top of the tree. Casabaya leads. That's the weight to take it to the big lads. Wasn't easy, but he made it. Now, are we going to see one of the big medal contenders into the contest now?
Well, 2 minutes has been called. The bar has been taken off the platform just to give it a quick clean, get rid of any blood that may have been on the bar. These bars are quite sharp. We often see athletes ripping their hands.
So Irakli Termanids with the fan club in the auditorium to welcome him onto the stage. Great effort in the snatch, wasn't it? And just couldn't quite take it away from Magushkoff.
Well, he's only a kilo behind after the snatch. Magushkoff has also posted a 2:25. Problem Terminitz has is he makes the first call. He's opted to come onto the stage. Magushkoff could now put his starting weight up. We'll have to wait and see if he joins the party on the same weight or not.
Well, it would be a shocker if Terminitz were to fail to register a weight. So get this number on the board and then leave yourself 2 opportunities. Does it well. He's lifted quite beautifully today as Terminitz. Another very confident performance. So Terminitz is in with a big smile here in Tbilisi.
Well, that's 4 out of 4 successful lifts. Not putting a foot wrong so far today. He looked very strong out of the clean and also very strong in the overhead phase. He's well in the competition, and now for him it's about what's going to happen for the medals. He needs to bide his time, let the coaches do all the stressing and the worrying. Let's hope they can add up and make the right call in terms of his second and third attempts.
Yeah, you get the feeling that it's going to come down to that, don't you? It's going to come down to a big call if you want a medal. And a big call from Belagic through his snatch phase paid off. Another big call, entering at 2:25 for him.
Soft. And very soft in the elbows. Was there movement in his left, our right? I think he's okay.
Let's wait for those lights. A little bit faint as he moves to the steps, but he's okay. And he gets the 3 lights. So 2:25, that's the 4th successful lift for Belagic.
Really good extension on the clean, stands up strong. I think it's just a soft lock he's got. No problems, no problems.
The way he's going through the gears here. Now, looks like he's not going to have to follow himself because an increasingly weary-looking Janusek comes out to the stage for his 3rd and final lift at 2:25. He's on 4:06 at the moment as a combined weight from his 186 and 220. Second heaviest man in the competition as well, Janusek, so this wouldn't help him against Belagic. That was good, through the clean phase. Now the jerk. No, too much.
No.
Janusek bows out.
226, please.
Well, the clean was very strong. The jerk just lacked the spark that it needed. Needed more aggression on the drive.
Better not be ready.
So Janusek with that miss, 2:25, leaves him on 4:06. Business end then of this European Championships and business end of this competition. And Michaela, the big call's starting to be made here.
Absolutely. Magushkoff just sat back, watched Terminits come out on the 225, and because he was lower down on the scoreboard, he then waited until Terminits had gone onto the platform before increasing his weight. That way, Terminits did not have the opportunity to change his first attempt. So Magushkoff and Prochak, we are still waiting to see. They're due to come out on 228 and 230 respectively.
Final lift for Pudanaj. Apart from that second round blip at 189 in the snatch, he's been very, very good. Moved it from 215 through 223, up 3 kilos to 226 for his final lift. This will give him 412 as an overall total. Seventh last year in the super heavyweight category at the European Championships, and if he makes this, he should improve on that, and comfortably so.
It's there, needs to stand still, feet in line, and he gets the down signal.
Oh, brilliant work. So Naj, with a fabulous effort in both competitions, not going to take a medal away from this one, I don't think, but he certainly improved his performance from last year.
Well, yes, he did. It's a big personal best on the clean and jerk, 6 kilos up on a weight that he posted last year. Just a shame he missed one of those snatches. He could have had an opportunity to get a personal best on the total as well.
Emotion from the 29-year-old. As Prochak of Ukraine, we saw his coaches, all three of them, involved in a very animated debate actually ahead of this clean and jerk competition. It was unsure about the initial way that he was posted. Well,
either that or a discussion about what happened in the snatch, because he lifted 3 out of 3 very comfortable snatches. 200 was the weight he finished on. It was only good enough for the bronze. I think he could have had a couple more kilos given the opportunity. So let's see how far he is pushed now in the clean and jerk. 230. That looked okay. A little wobbly, needs to stand still. See the shoulders moving. He'll be okay.
What an opener in the clean and jerk for Oleg Prochak, but there is a little bit of concern, particularly about the left leg.
Well, I wasn't overly happy with how that looked. You know, in terms of technique, no problem, but he looked very unstable whilst recovering in the jerk position. Did not give the bar an opportunity to become stationary. That's okay, though. It's this movement I don't like in the shoulders. Maybe because he didn't move the front foot far enough forwards. Body all over the place underneath the bar.
Pops out of the way, drops the weight onto the stage, and such is the weight. The camera shuddered. This is big, big lifting. Chingiz Magushkoff then stops the mind games and joins the competition at 230 kilos in this clean and jerk phase for the super heavyweights. Good start for the big Russian, heaviest man in the competition. So has to beat everybody, and that's a nice way to start. 230 then in the bank for Magushkoff. Won't move ahead of Prochak in the clean and jerk rankings, but that will do him a lot of favours in the overall.
Oh, very, very strong. Nicely to arm's length. Seems to be quite comfortable standing there waiting for the referee's down signal.
Daniel Dawaga has left his third lift in reserve. He's moved through the gears on a couple of decisions here. He's posted a couple of weights and gone up. Those are his 2 changes that he can make. So 230 he's coming in. This is big from his point of view. New personal best, isn't it, for Dawaga if he makes this?
Yeah, I mean, best down is 2:21. So
In that case, he's already done it. Yeah, what you said, actually, on the last lift, it was a new PB. So this is to take it up again, and by a long way.
You've got to have the self-belief to attempt these kind of weights. So far above your best. Short on the drive, but managed to get away with it.
Fabulous from Dawaga. 2:30 registered for him.
He's not going to finish on the podium in the overall, but he is at the moment holding gold medal position on the clean and jerk. He's done and dusted, cannot do any more. Has to sit back now and hope that 3 other athletes are unable to surpass him. I think he's going to be lucky to stay on the podium on the clean and jerk, but that was a tremendous effort. 9 kilos in his personal best.
Yeah, 4 athletes left in, so it's going to be a long wait. No surprises, that round of applause for this man. Irakli Tamanids just with enough strength to raise a single index finger to the crowd to acknowledge their support. They've given him tremendous support today, but hasn't he responded well? Brilliant lifting through the snatch for 2:01, only edged out of the gold medal by a fabulous last lift from Magushkoff of Russia. So Tamanids moves from 2:25 to 2:31 in the clean and jerk. Oh, goodness me, that's hard work. It's not stabilised. That never looked stabilised, despite the applause of the crowd.
Well, I think he's okay. If he had the referee's down signal, then as far as they were concerned, they were happy. Wow, 2-1 majority. He's got the lift.
This was nasty, though. As this went up above head, this was not fun.
This is where it could potentially go all wrong. He looks very strong. But as that bar goes to arm's length, the hyperextension of his right arm, he's seesawing all over the place. And the forces through the elbows and shoulders and back in that phase is very, very tough.
The collective will of this Tbilisi crowd on the backs of the judges. Down signal given. Majority decision. 2 out of 3 say yes. That's good enough. And Tamanids in this competition now. 2:01, 2:31. It's 2 successful high lifts so far through snatch and clean and jerk. Now, Belagic of Germany punching a little bit above his weight today. The 33-year-old has done a fabulous job. But can he live with this sort of company?
Well, he's out of his comfort zone right now. Still a couple of kilos within his personal best, but he's being forced to take 2:32. This will put him up into gold medal position on the clean and jerk. Still not enough for the overall podium.
Oh, that was hard through the clean. Well made, though. Come on, Almir. No, out the back door, and it's not a dream finish. He's going to have one more attempt at 2:32. But it's going to be tough.
Well, Oleg Proshak could really stitch Belagic up right here. If he increases his weight by just 1 kilo, it will force Belagic out again, and the clock would only be reset to 1 minute. Is he going to play nasty tactics? No, he's going to come out.
Good lad. Yes, he's thinking about his own competition here. Is Proshak, 2:30 opener. Some concerns over that particular lift. It looked a little bit soft, so we'll see how he goes here. 2:32, same weight as Belagic. Needs this to have any breathing room in the 3rd round. That's much more convincing. Oh, that's more like it. He's warmed up now.
Hasn't he just? These boys are not taking any time after the clean. They're standing up, body is standing still, and then they're straight into the jerk. Why? Because the bar is still whipping, and the bar is whipping naturally. It's not oscillating because the athlete is making it oscillate. As long as the body is stationary, you can go straight into the jerk. That is absolutely fine.
That was really convincing, and that has definitely put Proshak back in to the mix. So 2:32 puts him to the top of the clean and jerk standings, and also gives him the lead in the overall category on 4:32 as his combined weight total. It's confirmation of how it stands in the clean and jerk. Proshak Terminids and Dawaga. But we've still got a second lift to come from Magushkoff. Rajic having a little bit of fun with the camera. Magushkoff, the Russian, will just be backstage waiting to see what's happening around him before he makes his final decision. 240 at the moment, he's saying, but that's, as we saw in the snatch, that's just a little bit of Russian tactical play, giving himself some breathing room to look at what the others are doing, having recorded a 230.
Well, this will not progress him in the competition in terms of the overall standings, but it would, for the moment, if successful, put him on the podium on the clean and jerk.
So the 33-year-old German.
Very short on time.
Oh dear, this is tight. And had to get, no, too fast into it, lost his grip. And that's the bar down, so no lift for Bilagic. And after such a promising start, just not quite up to it this time around.
Oh, that's a shame. You cause yourself an injury doing that. These athletes will lock their thumbs onto the bar using hook grip. That's why the thumbs are heavily taped. Looks like the tape just slipped. Usually when you're locked onto the bar with this grip, you don't lose your grip. It's not very common to see that happen.
Let's revisit the overall standings. 432 for Proshak, 432 for Terminids of Georgia. Proshak, the lighter man, better than both Terminids and Magushkoff, who are on the same weight. So he is at the moment at the top of the tree. And that means that Terminids and Magushkoff have to lift heavier than him. Simple as that. Now, Terminids is going to try and up the weight again. This to reclaim the lead. Terminids coming back out at 234 for his last throw of the dice. Proshak has immediately moved his weight to 238, so he's now trying to hunt down Magushkoff. But this to get in amongst the medals again for Irakli Terminids. The moment in silver medal position on the overall, silver medal on the clean and jerk, having claimed the silver already in the snatch competition. Had to rely on experience to get out of trouble in the last lift in round 2. 3 more kilos on the bar here. Oh, that's much more convincing. That's great timing from him. Now, will he regret not being able to push that just a little bit further? He missed out just in the snatch.
Well, let's put this in perspective here. That's 234 kilos. His best was 232, so he's just set a new personal best. How much further could he have gone in front of his home crowd? 6 out of 6 lifts, PBs. I think that's a pretty good day in the office. If he's outlifted now, then fair play to the other athletes.
Yeah, good shout, Mikhaila. Done all he can do, and now it's up to the rest, and there are still 2 men that can push him down in the standings. Proshak said 238, and I wonder if he's going to come out at that.
No, he'll come down to probably 235. He's only a kilo behind after the snatch, and he has body weight. What's he coming in on? 235.
There we go then. Final lift for Oleg Proshak of Ukraine. Superb at 232. He looked very comfortable there.
This to take the lead.
He'll go straight into this. No messing. That's a really good rhythm he's got going. Well, a little bit of rock and roll under the bar, but drops it and confirmed as a clean lift at 235. And that will give him a combined total that will push Magushkoff once again to have to lift for the win. So Magushkoff has to beat him by 1. He's going to take the clean and jerk gold.
Second attempt.
And that should give him the overall total he needs to take the overall gold medal as well. .236 then for his second attempt, Magushkoff here, as we head into the final stages of this European Weightlifting Championships here in Tbilisi. 230 is the opener for Magushkoff, and he's in that wonderful situation, Mikhaila, where he's now got 2 lifts to see this home.
2 lifts to see this home. I'd like to see him nail it on his second if he's going to have a chance. Failing that, he'll be following himself and struggling to recover. So the 236 will give him the gold on the clean and jerk and secure victory overall. This is a big lift.
This then for 3 golds today. Up it goes through the clean phase. Jerk to come. No. This competition is still alive.
Well, the cheer you hear is from the Georgian lifters. Just gone dizzy. I'll tell you what, you're going to need a couple of guys to catch him if he's going to fall down. It's hot in here. As I said now, the recovery is going to be critical. He's done the hard work. He's already exerted a massive amount of effort trying to stand with this. The bar's on his windpipe. Obviously went dizzy here. That's why the lift, part of the reason the lift was unsuccessful. Just trying to stay conscious there without passing out. He's okay.
But as Mikhaila said, he's got to follow himself.
And he's not choosing to sit down for long. He needs to be on his feet, needs to get the oxygen back in. This is a very much a pressurised lift.
Well, dramatic stuff in the snatch. He came out and made that 202 kilo lift after missing at 190 in the first round. Made his 202 in the third round and took the gold medal away from Irakli Terminids. He wasn't very popular after that. We'll see how the crowd responds to this one. I think he's used it quite well. I think he's used it, you know, basically and thrown it back to the crowd. And he's tried to take that on board, but he's under serious pressure now. Now, if he misses this, Mikhaila, where does it leave him?
Oh, he's down in third. He's out of the medals on the clean and jerk if he misses it again, but he's already guaranteed a bronze medal in the overall. This lift for golds all the way through.
It all remains the same. This to be the European champion. And he's going to take every second that he can take here.
Just hear the MC calling 1 minute. And this really, 2 minutes is tough. It's tough to recover when you're lifting at your limit, when you're at capacity. To try and recover in such a short time is so hard. And he'll still be blowing. He's going to make as much use of the rest of this recovery time as possible. He knows exactly how long he has left. There's a clock in front of him.
Proshak in gold medal position for Ukraine. Terminids in silver medal for Georgia. And this man, Magushkoff, for Russia at the moment in bronze medal position in the overall standings. This to be champion. No, it's not going to happen.
He's not getting up with that.
Oh, my goodness me. And Magushkoff had it all in front of him. But I'm afraid he couldn't deliver the final blow. And that man in your picture, Oleg Proshak, has taken it with a combined total of 435. He's won it on lighter body weight than Irakli Terminids, who takes a really good silver medal. Silver's across the board for the Georgian. But for Magushkoff of Russia, he took that snatch gold. He was in pole position to take everything here, and he's missed it.
Well, that's a real shame, but Dewago also holds on for a bronze medal on the clean and jerk. That was right down to the wire and horrible for the athletes that could only sit and wait and watch. Desperately disappointing for Magushkoff. That's the way it goes.
Well, that's the kind of drama we were looking for to finish this competition. Proshak then taking the gold in the clean and jerk, but that transfers nicely for him in the overall standings. Terminids consistent across the board, and that manages to come home with that silver. And a very good effort from Dawaga. Fine last lift from him puts him into the medals in the clean and jerk.